All right, welcome on back, everybody. Wild Willy here with the next part of our walkthrough. OP early and early DLC. So we're starting out again right where we left off last episode at Celia Under Stair. We are going to pass time, make it morning again. And we don't have the map fragment again for this part. So again, what we are going to be doing, let me get rid of the marker on the map. That's where our map fragment is. We're not ready to go get that yet. I'm going to take it out so it doesn't distract us. So basically, we are heading due north. We are going to grab the Rotten Stray, which is a Spirit Ash that can proc rot. It's good for the first couple bosses, but that's it. Basically, if you can get it to proc rot, it kind of helps with the fight. But it dies super easy, which is why I've got the Fanged Imps, but we're going to grab it because it's on the way. Then we are going to run into a cave and grab the Site of Grace in there. We're going to run out, grab a early sorcery and staff. We're going to run up and grab our first Somber 5 of the run, and then we're going to run over here to the western side, and we're going to be grabbing a Grace. We're going to be visiting a merchant just to get it on your map. This one's notable because he has arrows and I believe fire arrows, and then we're going to grab a Grace here. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started and clear all this stuff out, and then we're going to pop back over here to Fort Ferreth and run over here and grab the map. So we are just heading up north. We'll also swing down here and grab this guy as well towards the middle part of the episode. But anyway, enough of me chatting. Let's just go ahead and hop on Torrent and head north. We're gonna go right past that structure to this one, and there's a Rotten Stray there. If you want to hop off and get murdered by a rot dog, you can kind of see what you're getting out of your money from the Spirit Ash. So we're gonna pop over here, Celia Crystal Tunnel. There are a lot of smithing 5s in here. This is where the Somber Bell Bearing for the 1 and 2s are. Since you can buy an unlimited supply of those, grab the rock grease. You can buy an unlimited supply of 1s and 2s from EG, and there's like a baby falling star beast is what's guarding it. They're kind of a pain in the ass, so we are not going to do it. Plus there's like Kindred of Rot in there. It's just a bad time. Even later on, you can run through and grab stuff if you want to get a weapon upgraded, but we're using Somber, so we're not going to worry about it. So we're just kind of heading out west a little bit, and then we're going to, as soon as you see that guy down there, the big scarab, we want to swing around and start heading up this ravine to the north. When you see the little lighty guys, you know you're in the right direction. The cannonball formation ones will explode, so keep it moving. Here's another one of these spirit ball thingies. He's going to start casting sorceries. And there's our Somber 5. So those guys are spinning around. Avoid them. Dead ones will drop ruin fragments, so pick those up on the way out. Obviously, don't die picking those up. They're really not important if you can grab them. So next thing, we're headed into these ruins. The big one ahead with the tower, head for that, and then we're gonna head for that church looking one, and there's an area that we can go underground in again. So we're just gonna hop off Torrent and run down. You can also ride down the stairs until you get to the door, and this is gonna give us our rock sorcery. Rock Sling, very good basic sorcery spell. I think you need like 24 int to cast it, so if that's kind of your jam and you want to go for an int build, do that. We are going to go straight out the front door here and swing around to the west again. We are headed for this structure, and this is where your staff is. So you might have to hop off Torrent and come around the side, and then you can grab it, the meteorite staff. Let's heal up because we got dinged. And then we kind of want to head southeast, keeping the cliff face on our right, and work our way around. You don't want to go into the swamp because that will trigger an invasion. And here's our grace. So let's grab that. And we're going to go ahead and rest. So I think we're on the map now, or almost. We're going to swing around here. There is a merchant, and then we're going to swing up here. You can see the fate line, like where the telescope is. There's this line, that's a wall. There's going to be a grace right here. So let's mark that, and then we're going to head to the end of this wall and then work our way south and across some vines to the abandoned cave where the gold scarab is. We're just getting the grace because we're here. So swing on around, head under this tree thing. You'll hear the merchant. Here he is. Like I said, he's got fire arrows. Avoid the road. There's some kindred of rot on the road with some dogs. Back in the ruins where I just was, if you did a little bit more running around, you run across the traveler set. Better than being naked. We're going to come up with another, we're going to come up on another merchant when we're grabbing the next map fragment, or that's going to offer the starting armor set for the samurai class, which is another good choice. And the traveler set, it's, you know, doesn't have over 50 poise. It's, you know, basically just cloth, but, you know, it's better than being naked. And you don't want to get the knight set, because, hey, it's free. All right, so once you come up and you see the clip wall again, down there is where we just grabbed the Somber 5. We came up this way to avoid some dogs. And, you know, we're headed down this way towards that tree. You can see the dead crow, and there's the flames. Oh, there's a virgin abductor there. So we are headed down there. There's a vine that we just can't quite see. So just hop on down. There's the vine. Just ride across. You don't need to do any running or jumping until you get to here. And again, we are just grabbing the grace here. We are not set up to handle this yet. We're going to go back outside. We have to go back out to warp. Nice, lovely, calming cave music. Instead of the angry, I'm going to kill you, Kaled music. And we are going to go back over here to the Aeonia Swamp Shore. What we're going to do is we're basically going to kind of work our way around, not going into the swamp, because like I said, that will trigger an invasion again to get to this road. And then we are going to work over to the map marker, and then there's a grace like roundabout here that we're going to grab. And then when I have the map marker, we can do some more stuff. So back to Aeonia Swamp Shore. And we don't want to go that way. We're going to kind of head up that way and around. There's some sprouts and there are little flowers. They all do poison. So just run. More running. I think this is like a golden rune. Yep, 3. So again, no big deal if you don't get it. There are some vulgar militiamen and more of the marionette soldiers down in the swamp too, where you come out. So grab that because it's right in front of us. This merchant, another cracked pot. Getting kind of pricey. Same thing with the stone sword key, but if you need them, there they are. Arrows and bolts. This is just for rot arrows, which are useful later on. And then he's got like the great helm and kind of the warrior set, Not a good set. Wouldn't bother with it. Now we're gonna head over there, grab our grace. We want to stick to the road a little bit. You can see up there, there's another one of those little bird. There's like a bird version of the... They're kind of a cross between like the marionette soldiers and the vulgar militia. So we're just gonna ride back to the merchant. We are actually heading up towards that church. Let me go ahead and mark it on the map. There's a grace up there that we can get, and then we are headed down the road there. We're headed towards that tower, and you can just see it off the top of my head. There's a golden seed. So let's... There's the church. The grace is over there, and then we're headed down here to the backside of the tower where there's a grace. We're going to pick up another Ash of War, Cragblade, and we're going to grab the golden seed along the way. So let's do that. There is a Banished Knight here that you can farm for his armor. I think this is the first Banished Knight of the game. Again, it's not somebody you want to really mess with. He teleports, he does a lot of damage. This is the Cathedral of Dragon Communion. When we kill Grail, we're going to be able to come over here and pray at this altar, and that is going to let us purchase some basic dragon incantations. We need 15 faith and 12 arcane for these. So that's where the 15 faith comes in again, aside from Flame Grant Me Strength. The two that I would recommend getting are Rotten Breath and Dragon Ice. Those will allow you to put Rot and Frostbite on an enemy. Rot, they take continuous damage over time. Frostbite, they just take more damage for a set period of time. And then we are just out and running again. We're heading towards our other mark. There's our Banished Knight. And I don't know what he's doing, but... Okay, we don't want to go there. We want to head... I don't know if that's the same one or if that's a different one. Because there's one that normally patrols. Yeah, there's a patrolly dude. So there are actually two of them. Huh. You see me? Yes, you do. Alright, so we're going to keep moving. He hasn't aggroed. Not in range. Grab that. Grab the Arteria Leaf. And drop on down. We want to be careful. There's some of those big birds around. Don't want to mess with the birds. So back there, that's where we started. We're back on this path now. We want to swing down over this way. So we're headed east. There's our merchant. And then we're going to swing on south down the road. There's our golden seed. We can see the dog there. We got some of the big dino dogs. They look like T-Rexes with dog heads. Got a bird over here. This is not an area where you want to get off the path. So you want to thread the needle there. Head for this big rock. There is a gap here. So when you hop up on the rock, be mindful of that little gap right there. We're going to grab our grace. This is another one of those spots where the Red Mane Knights will be like fighting the dino dogs, and you can get more runes. You can see them fighting and doing damage to each other. We are here for Cragblade, which is the Ash of War that my strength boys know and love. Helps you posture break. Cragblade on a weapon with a heavy infusion. And the Spike Crack tier in your Wondrous Physic. Really good for strength builds. Poise Break people do a lot of damage. So what we are going to do is, you see that cross, we're going to kind of head just over the edge of the cliff here, and the Scarab is right here on the side. I've equipped the Morning Star and the Turtle Shield. This is going to be a lot easier. The Morning Star does a little bit more damage. And there it is, Cragblade. You can see them all fighting down there. And that's it. So we're done with the southern portion of the map. Let me get rid of my map markers. And so we're going to warp on back to Fort Ferrith. Let's put the marker back over here. We're going to go grab that map fragment. And then we will have all of Caelid uncovered as well. So we'll hop over here. We're just cruising. We're making good time. So this time, we're going to head out kind of north towards this other mound. Just to kind of get around Grail. Get around her tail. Ugh. Yeah, like, yeah. Alright, so there are more dragons over here. We're just going to ride past them. That's one. Grail's going to wake up and start shouting at us when we get past her face. Just keep going. It's going to be loud. Sorry about that. There she goes. Other dragons will be up and running for us. Alright, so we are headed towards that puddle. You can see more dragons. We're going to swing off here towards the right. There's a pathway leading down. We're coming here for our Somber 9. There it is. Grab the rest of the stuff. And we are going to reverse course. Rune Arc, that's what activates the Great Runes. If you go up one of the Divine Towers and restore the Great Rune, then you need to use a Rune Arc to get whatever its powers are. If you die, you lose it. That's just a sliver of meat. We're doing that because he went that way. Normally I would say don't bother with the sliver of meat. Grab the map fragment. And then we are going to going over just in the direction I'm heading towards that little archway for the branch. There's the Grace right there. And then I'm going to pull up the map again for us. Why am I glowing? Let's rest. I don't know why I was glowing red there, but we're done with that. All right, so next up, we're going to swing up this road. There's another shack with a merchant here. I'm going to make it daytime or morning again. There are night bosses that spawn. Some of them are called bell-bearing hunters, and they like hunt the merchants. The merchant will like disappear at night, and you'll be like, where'd the merchant go? And you go towards the merchant, and then this bell-bearing hunter will spawn, and they are nasty. This is one of the toughest enemies in this region. So let's just put a mark there, and then let's rest again and make it morning. I remember watching the original walkthrough like 2 or 3 years ago when I first started playing Elden Ring. One of my favorite content creators is a guy named Fighting Cowboy. He did a walkthrough of the game 3 years ago, and he like went back there and spawned in the bell-bearing hunter, and it was like, oh my god, what the fuck? And it was bad. So anyway, there are some dino dogs here. They're kind of patrolling back and forth. I am sticking to the right-hand side and just trying to thread the needle. And again, you will know if they are aggroed to you, because when you hit sprint, the B button on my Xbox controller, you will start to lose stamina, use stamina, if something is on to you. So here we are, the Grace is right in here. So let's talk to him.
Well, it's been a how can I help?
So here, Ritual Pot, don't need these. Ash of War, Spike Cestus. This causes blood loss. It's a fist weapon. You can get it early on. Bogart, the guy we met in Liurnia, who we bought the boiled prawn from and sold us Raya's necklace. You can kill him and get their spiked starfist or whatever. They're just a blunt weapon, but very good. The thing that we definitely want from him is this, the beast repellent torch. You can use it on the little salamander dudes that do death blight. You can use it on rats. You can use it on dogs. It even works on the big dino dogs. If you have it out, they will hesitate before they attack you. So you can kind of run through certain areas. And then we have the samurai set, the Land of Reeds armor set. This is a pretty cheap pickup. The entire set costs $4,500. So that's, you know, like 3 trips through the ball farm. 2 if you already have some runes. You can pick this up. 21, 24, 34. So 34 poise. So again, we're not over the 50 poise break mark to get some sort of stagger protection. But still, you know, like a very good early free armor set if you didn't start out as a samurai. So let me sell him something. It's a golden rune 2. It's worth 400. So that we can purchase the beast repellent torch and we don't have to come back. Let's see, this is just, we don't need any of those. Those aren't cookbooks. Okay, so we are done here. I have an extra marker somewhere. How are we doing on time? We still have time, so let's get rid of that. I think that was our marker. So next up, we are going to work over here back to the Bellum Church. We picked up a sacred tier earlier, and we are going to take the lift up to the Altus Plateau, and we might do a few things there. But, you know, like, so next stop, pull up Bellum Church, and let's get up to Altus. We'll see what we can knock out there before we reach 30 minutes. Okay, so there's our mark. Head out, ride past the sheep, ride past the wolves, stay to the left-hand side. There are going to be like more ballista catapults if you ride up the road that'll start shooting at you. Got one of those flamethrower dudes. We got knights on horseback. So we kind of want to sneak up on this zone. Basically, you know, like heading over here, you see the mushroom, you know you're in a pretty safe place. Sneak up on the side, you can go right past this guy, and then I would just stay on the left-hand side of the road. Don't go off the road. All the enemies are behind us. We're headed to the left. The little piece of loot we can grab on the left-hand side. Dragon wound grease. And the grace is right off here to the right. We'll grab the grace. I'm gonna skip this cutscenes again if you're not here. Any cutscenes you want to watch, see the dialogue. There's only a couple that I ever let play out. It's just kind of a tradition on every run. So hoist the medallion. Skip this. It's a 2-part, so wait for it to start loading again. Skip this. Okay. Alright, so when we come out here, there are going to be 2 golems. They have great bows. They will shoot at you. The one on the right. So we don't want to aggro them. We also see Raya is here. She will take us to Volcano Manor, but the problem is we don't have a grace. So let's grab a grace first. So we're just going to come over here and grab a grace. All right, then we're going to go back to talk to Raya, and she's going to take us to Volcano Manor, and we're just going to grab the grace there. Do not talk to anybody in Volcano Manor. Don't talk to Lady Tanith. Don't join Volcano Manor. We want to get, at least I always do, Assassin's Gambit from Bernal. So take her hand.
I will pray.
And if you keep going with Patch's quest line, he'll end up here. So that's Lady Tanith. We don't want to talk to her. We just want this grace. That's it. And we can run through here. Again, this is somewhere where it's better to come back to grab the map fragment, because you got to ride all the way up here and then back down and around. It can be kind of a bad time. I'd rather get us up to Altus, and you know, we can at least grab some ground loot armor set. So anyway, back over here, we're going to grab the maps for Altus next. So we're going to go back to our Altus Plateau, Site of Grace, and continue. All right, so here we are back here. Those are the golems. There's the lift where we came up. We do not want to go on the road, because that will aggro the golems, and they'll start shooting, and it's a bad time. Stay over here to the left. Could be okay. Also, there are, you know, knights and soldiers patrolling on the road further on. Don't want to mess with them either. I'm still wearing a bikini. Do have a weapon upgrade. It's just a level 1 Morningstar. It's better than our club, but I ain't trying to fight anything with it. So once we hit the second road, we're going to swing over here to the east, and you can see it. We're going to grab this grace. And then we are going to head off over there. There's a golden seed, and we're going to head up there. The road, that's our next map fragment. Let's go get that. So golden seed. Past these guys to the left, you can see the obelisk for the map fragment. And we're just going to follow the road. Whoops. Did not grab it. There we go. We are just going to follow the road. There's another Site of Grace and another merchant. This guy will sell another great shield. We already have the jellyfish shield. That's our first great shield. And he will offer like the manor tower shield or something like that. Let's ride past the soldiers. Heading towards that bridge over there to the left. So no one's following us. We're fine. Go ahead and talk to the merchant first. Just going to talk about his wares. So like I said, shields, these are 100% physical damage negation. If you successfully block, you don't take any damage. The Great Turtle Shell Shield does not have 100% physical, but it does boost our stamina, so we're using that. Just another one, different fashion. And then there's it's the Cross Tree Manor Shield. We do not have 30 strength to use it, so we are not picking that up. Again, more Stone Sword keys, and he's got the Rope Lightning Pots. Not interested in that either. So Stone Sword keys, that's what we'd be after. He also has the Tree Surcoat. It's just one piece, but it's a pretty good single piece. We are about to pick up some clothes that I'm going to put on. Our very next stop. We're going to do that, grab a couple pieces of ground loot. So we're going to travel the teleporter. It's going to take us to the northern end of the map. And we don't have the map fragment here, so we're just going to grab a couple of things and grab the grace. And then warp back to one of the earlier graces that we got. So we're headed for that windmill just ahead of us. And we'll come back to this region, this part of the map, once we have the map fragment. Bunch of ladies just dancing. They aren't any danger. We're grabbing that loot. A bunch of flaming corpses are going to burst out of the ground. You just want to make sure you grab everything, and then you want to run, because they're going to start exploding. It's going to aggro the ladies. Yeah. So let's just ride east. We are heading towards Windmill Village. We're gonna grab a grace there, and we are gonna warp back to... Oh, we don't want that. Those are misbegotten. We don't want to tangle with them, and they don't have any loot. So Windmill Village, grab the grace, and we are going to... Okay, so we do have the map. Anyway, we are coming back here anyway. We are going to go back over to Altus Highway Junction. We're going to grab the next map fragment and a bunch more golden seeds here in just a second. So let's head over here, and that's where we're going to wrap up. All right, so here we are. Altus Highway Junction. Gonna go ahead and wrap up the episode now, and we'll see you soon in the next one.